my name is Lily and I work for Cooking with Kids. Today we are going to go visit One Straw Farm in Dixon. We are going to meet with farmers Tanya and Rick. Come on, let's go!
Hi, I'm Tanya.
I'm Rick.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Luis.
And we are
One Straw Farm.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a little tour of our farm throughout the different seasons and talk to you a little bit about what we do, especially in the early spring in our greenhouses.
We are an organic vegetable, flower, and plant start farm in Dixon, New Mexico, but the farm has a little bit of history. Dad, do you want to tell them about how we got started?
Well, One Straw Farm was started in 1996 in El Huique, which is in the Espanola Valley. And since then, it's moved around a little bit to Peñasco and to Chamayo for a couple of years. And finally, about 12 years ago, we settled here in Dixon. So we're happy to be home finally and growing lots and lots of yummy vegetables, herbs, and beautiful flowers.
Hope you guys enjoy the tour. One of the most important aspects to organic agriculture is that we don't use synthetic fertilizers. We use natural fertilizers. And we're basically just using nature to our advantage and something that nature's already very good at doing. So what we'll see is that we can add lots of different live materials, organic materials like leaves, weeds, any kind of vegetables or fruits that got wasted. And instead of throwing them in the trash can, we put them in the compost. And they slowly, over time, over a few months, start to get broken down by different microorganisms and insects. So these worms right here are what kind of makes this compost so incredible, because they're helping break down the soil, and at the same time, their droppings are providing a lot more nutrients. And then it becomes this very rich soil that we can then add to our plants and to our fields to create a very rich, nutrient-dense soil that's going to help the plants grow. We have a very short growing period, so it is an advantage to us to be able to have a greenhouse where the plants can grow safely without the frost killing them at night. And that's what protects the plants and keeps them warm and keeps them out of the weather, just like this greenhouse. Here we have a little room that we adapted into a growing room. And what you can see here are these lights that are recreating sunlight, basically, and the warmth as well that some of these plants really need in order to germinate and to grow.
If you just keep them outside, they're not going to ever germinate. So the soil needs to stay warm. Probably about 70 to 80 degrees is ideal. And also need to stay moist. You don't want to let them ever dry out. So we bring them inside the greenhouse and put them on heat mats. And then in the evening, we actually cover them with plastic until they germinate. And then for the tomatoes, about 5 or 6 days, they're up and ready to go.
In the early spring, sometimes as early as February, we'll get them seeded into these large flats. And here you can see that they're still kind of attached to their little seeds where they germinated from. And then they grow to have these initial leaves that you see here, and then their first true leaves, which are these leaves right here. And then once they have strong enough stems and roots and first true leaves, they get up-potted into these individual pots. And then that's where they're going to grow, get bigger, get stronger roots, stronger stems. So when they go out into the ground, they're going to be able to survive the weather. And broccoli, like we have here, for example, was bred for its large flower heads and stems. And so we cut it before it actually flowers, and that's the part that we are used to seeing in the grocery store, but it doesn't tell the full story of the plant. But see how the plant itself still needs leaves so that it can extract the energy from the sun that it needs to turn into energy for itself to grow. So here is a small plant, and eventually this flower head will grow and we will harvest it before it flowers, and that's the part we eat.
So we know that plants need some very basic things to grow, right? They need nutrients, which we talked about a little bit in terms of our soil mix and our compost. They need light from the sun, and they need water.
Thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a great tour of our farm. Come find us at the Santa Fe Farmers Market on Saturdays, and we'll see you next time. Adios!
Bye.